When I did track and field in high school and college, I was never a good hurdler, but I always heard, you're not a real hurdler until you fall hurdling. And you're not a true unicyclist unless you fall. The truth is, you're probably going to fall, but there are steps you can take to mitigate the risks and be prepared for it when it actually does happen. Here are 5 drills that you can incorporate to your warm-up while learning how to ride a unicycle, and some principles about falling that'll help you prepare for the inevitable. When you're doing these drills, you should probably be thinking about getting away from the unicycle. Getting away from the unicycle will decrease your risk of injury because you don't have a big metal thing that you're going to step on, trip over, or it's going to come back and swing and hit you. The first 4 drills that we're going to talk about all involve a vertical crank position. This is a common position when beginners fall off. It's really hard to get over that dead zone, that vertical crank. So inherently, when it gets difficult, that's when people have the most trouble and then they fall. These 4 drills practice falling forward, backwards, left, and right. The first drill you can do is the up and over. Starting from ground, make sure the unicycle is in a vertical crank position. Put one foot on the bottom pedal to make sure it's stable. Then take the free leg and step it over that top pedal all the way to the other side in front of you and land on the ground. Don't worry about what that unicycle is doing because remember, the goal here is to try to get away from the unicycle. If you can catch it, great, but if not, don't worry about it. This is essentially going to prepare you for falling forward. And it's going to drill you to remember that when you're in the vertical crank position and you're falling forward, one foot keeps a lot of pressure on the bottom pedal so that the unicycle can stay stable while you step off. If you're feeling good about the up and over, try to do an up and over with a tap. So with that free leg, that leg that's not putting pressure on the bottom pedal, while it's directly over that top pedal, tap it and then step off. You can even hold it for a second or two if you really want to see what it feels like to be solidly on the unicycle before you fall off. Try to do a few sets of these in your warm-up. The next drill is the tap and back. So almost exactly like the up and over, all you got to do is tap that free leg to that top pedal, and instead of falling forward, you're going to fall backwards. This is what prepares you for falling backwards, especially in a vertical crank position. This is going to prepare you to lock one leg on the bottom downstroke of the unicycle so it stays stable while you can safely step off backwards. Just like the up and over, on the tap and back, you can hold for a second or two if you really want to feel what it's like to be solidly on the unicycle before you fall backwards. Third drill is the side fall, essentially falling to the side. You're going to do the same thing that you just did with the up and over and the tap and back, except you're going to tap and then step over to the side. Do a few of these to feel comfortable. And again, make sure the leg that's on the down pedal holds most, if not all of your weight that's not on the seat. Now we have to practice falling to the side where the leg that's keeping the unicycle stable is. This is called the hip twist. This is more difficult because the leg that's keeping the unicycle stable is not available to you to catch you when you fall. You're going to have to use your free leg. Unless you want to just kind of hop off the unicycle with that leg, but it's more of a quick, jerky motion. It's not necessarily great for practice. It is possible though. What we're going to do in this 4th drill, we really have to use those hips to take the free leg and put it over to the side that we want to go. There's 2 aspects to the hip twist. The hip twist where the free leg comes in front of you and swings around to the other side, and the hip twist where the free leg comes behind you. The hip twist where the free leg comes behind you is kind of like the tap and back. However, the biggest bang for your buck here is going to be practicing swinging that free leg around in front of you to catch you on the opposite side. Using your hips to move the unicycle is good practice for actually controlling it because that's exactly what you're going to do when you're going to mount or ride it. Now, what I didn't mention when going through the first 4 is that you're probably going to have a dominant leg. One leg that's probably going to be in the down pedal the entire time. In order for you to adequately practice falling, you're going to have to switch sides. Because chances are when you're falling, you're not only going to fall in one particular position. You might fall in a horizontal crank position or a diagonal crank position. That's where the most intimidating and the final drill comes in. It's called the hop off. And it's just that, practice hopping off. Logic might tell you to push off equally with both feet, but if you do that, you'll just end up jumping straight up and back down on the unicycle. And that's not getting away from the unicycle. Instead, you can push off and jump to the side, or you can push off with one foot sooner or with more force to make the unicycle roll in front or in back. And it takes just a little bit of difference between what force or what timing that you push off with each foot to make this happen. So it's a very delicate process, and especially when you're falling with a horizontal crank position. You're not going to be at liberty to fine tune which foot is really pushing off when, with how much force. So what you can do is you can find yourself a wall and mount your unicycle however you see fit, and then get somehow into a horizontal crank. From here, you can practice just straight up jumping off, so you can practice your timing and how much force you're going to apply to each pedal. Before long, you're going to figure out if you push down sooner with whatever pedal is in front of you, that's going to make the unicycle go forward. And if you push down sooner with the back pedal, it's going to make the unicycle go backwards. So tinker around with it. You'll get a much better understanding about how the unicycle moves in a bad situation, which hopefully will make you more comfortable with it, and it'll decrease the risk for injury. So there are your 5 drills you can do. You can do the up and over, the tap and back, the side fall, the hip twist, and the hop off. I hope this was helpful. Let me know in the comments if it was, if you have any other drills, or if you've never fallen off a unicycle and you've been riding for a while. Definitely let me know, because that's impressive. And consider subscribing if you want more tutorials or unicycle content. Thanks and good luck.